Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 2:04 p.m. It is May 18th, 2023. Welcome, everyone, to today's conversation and Committee of the Whole regarding the 2024 proposed budget. We'll start with allowing the clerk to take the roll.
Commissioner Fast.
Aye.
Commissioner Myers.
Myers, aye.
Commissioner O'Hara. Here. Commissioner Hanslick.
Hanslick here.
Commissioner Ashcraft.
Here.
Commissioner Allenbrand.
Allenbrand, aye.
And Chairman Kelly.
I am here. We are here today and joined by our County Manager, Penny Postoke Ferguson, as well as our Budget and Financial Planning Director, Robin Symes. Thank you both very much for not only your work on the budget, but for being here for this presentation. If I could take just a quick moment and thank everybody for the majority's patience with me this morning in representing Johnson County during the international recognition of the 2026 World Cup. It is my honor to be able to serve on that board. That's going to help shape the future for our region, and I'm glad that Johnson County has their seat at the table. And so thank you all for allowing me to fulfill my role as the representative of the board. And so thank you all very much for your kindness. Today, we are not seeking any direction regarding the budget, but we are here to hear its overview. There will be plenty of time for robust discussion, so I'd ask that we hold our questions until the end of this presentation, and then we can follow suit with questions. And with that, thank you all to the directors for being here today to show support, and I will turn it over to Ms. Penny Postoke Ferguson.
Thank you. So you may see that one person that's on the agenda is not here today, and that's Scott Neufeld. He's not feeling well. So you get Robin and I. So one correction is that Robin is the deputy director. But so we're looking forward to sharing our results with you today on our proposed budget. I want to thank the budget office and staff that's here in the audience and all the directors that are with us today, because it takes a team, a lot of people, to put this budget together. And so I feel good about what I'm able to present to you, that it's based on your direction and being able to continue to provide quality services that our community expects. So the agenda today is outlined in front of you, and so we'll hit all these points: accomplishments, what the outlook economically looks like. We'll go through the budget summary, and then talk to you about the schedule as well. So why do we talk about accomplishments? When we talk about our community and the quality services that our community expects and deserves, with this budget, we're able to accomplish that. But as you know, Niche has recognized us as a top community, as well as our community survey time and time again puts us at the top. And this past survey, as you all know, put us in the top 10% in the country and the top county in the country of their database, which is hundreds of communities. So we want to put together a budget that continues to be able to provide services that our community expect along those lines and have a top quality services. One of the components that allows us to do that is our workforce. And so in this budget, we acknowledge that we are not with market, and there's a lot of workforce pressures, but we do, as part of my recommendation, include making our wages fair and competitive so that we're able to continue to provide those services. But also, it continues to allow us to have the lowest county tax as a percent of household income compared to all the state's counties, and especially urban counties, but all counties as well. So it continues to do that as well. So highlights is that we were able to do a $250,000 rollback. I mentioned competitive compensation, so that includes the salary compensation study implementation that we've talked for months about, as well as a new MedAct step plan that would be effective January 1st, and some interim solutions for them. It includes making the sheriff's compensation ongoing, because we did that outside of the budget process for them to get that early start, and so that continues to put that in permanently going forward. Also maintains our level of service with a few enhancements, and we'll highlight those today. And then prudent use of reserve. So we are pretty proud of having a AAA bond rating, and it's important for us to look at the financial forecast and see how we project out with our reserves.
All right, I'd like to go on to set the economic outlook for Johnson County and looking at the economic impacts to our revenue, and then also some things that are causing some uncertainty for the future. So we've seen for the second year some record high assessed valuation increases at 11.1%. And so that's that's a good, strong real estate market, but that's also given us some additional revenue. For investment interest, the interest rates have risen. They've gone from 0.25% to 5.25% in a year. And so we're seeing some investment income revenue from that as well. Sales and use tax revenues continue to be strong in the near term. However, we're continuing to look at that and monitor as we go for any downturn that we might see. Variables causing uncertainty, inflation is a big one. It's affected everyone in the county. We've seen issues with supply chain, especially with the purchase of our vehicles and also IT equipment. And then we've also, it's caused increases to utilities, fuel, and other contractual contracts or maintenance contracts. Workforce continues to be a challenge, as Penny mentioned, with low unemployment and also a reduced labor force that we're expecting in the future. And then finally, experts are predicting a recession at the end of 2023, and that could cause some job losses in our economy and in our county. The actual FTEs for the county are only just now reaching the 2008 levels that we saw. During this time, the population and service demands have increased. As you can see, the gray line illustrates where our FTEs would have been at the 2008 ratio compared to population. Oops. For workforce market pressures, we're seeing low unemployment rate, 3.5% nationally and 2.7% for Johnson County. In 2022, we outpaced the previous years with a rate of 16.9%. We continue to see significant pressures on our workforce in terms of recruitment, retention, and compensation, both nationally and regionally. These pressures exist across the whole organization, all grades, and all areas and services. While the unemployment rate has rebounded, we're still seeing while the unemployment rate has rebounded somewhat since the historical lows, again, current national rates and local rates are causing issues with our workforce. Due to the current labor market, we continue to struggle to recruit and retain the workforce we need to serve our community and its increasing population, and you can see that in our vacancy rate. And then finally, low number of applicants have caused problems for the county. During the fall of 2022, the county made a compression adjustment to salaries, resulting in increases. Both the turnover rate and the vacancy rate began to lessen following these changes. Just recently, in April, certain targeted jobs were aligned with the current pay tables, increasing those salaries. And just as an example, the direct support professional, applications doubled the week after posting the new salary, resulting in 23 new applications in the last week alone. This is over 3 times the average number of weekly applications received in April. We are hopeful the salary adjustments recommended in the 24 budget will increase the number of applicants to the county and for all of our jobs. For compensation strategy, in May 2022, the board authorized a countywide salary and benefits study to determine if our compensation was market competitive. The study results indicated that we were below market and not competitive based on the BOCC policy of paying at the median market. As a result, the proposed budget recommends an increase to the salary ranges on the classified pay table and also implement mid-year adjustments for employees in June of this year. A select number of jobs were significantly below market, and action was taken in May by the board to adjust those salaries accordingly. And that amount was the $2.2 million. However, that amount is included in the full salary and compensation cost of $18.9 million. And then based on the local market review, we also looked at MedAct pay plan and their salaries, and we determined that they were also below market. And so we've made adjustments and implemented a new pay plan for January 2024. For our budget principles, as you know, these are the three main principles that we look at each budget year: to fund ongoing operating expenditures with ongoing revenue sources, maintain a sufficient general fund reserve, and also exercise good financial management during the year. For 2024, here's our budget summary. The full budget is $1.79 billion. It's made up of $1.26 billion of expenditures and $531 million of reserves. The county mill levy reduces by $0.25 mil for the county taxing district at 17.522. The library is 3.815, which is a constant mill levy from the prior year. And Park and Recreation is 3.021, which is also constant. And that gives us a total mill levy of 24.358 mils. And then the total FTEs proposed are 4,265.94. That's an increase of 31.75 in this proposed budget. However, as you know, positions come to the board outside of the process for grant and fee-funded positions. And so that number is a total of 39.95 outside of the process. So our total increase from the prior year is a little over 70. So breaking down the budget a little bit, the total here in the first bar is $1.8 billion. Once we take out our reserves, we're at $531 million. And then what we like to do is remove the outside dedicated funds with dedicated revenue sources. And once you do that, then it reduces the budget down to $543 million. So here's a breakdown. Wastewater is the biggest portion of that, other than the county tax-supported expenditures, at $321 million. Library and parks make up 57, 56, and 34 million. And then you move on down. Grant-funded expenditures are 101 million. Outside funds, 45 million. And then you have fee-supported and transfers at 14 and 85. So again, once you remove those dedicated revenue sources, you get to 543 million. We can look at the same with our reserves. The reserves are 531 million total for the county. However, wastewater is the second largest at 206 million. And then the detail there for the other funds are listed, but once you remove those, you get to the general fund reserves at 221 million. So in looking at our 5-year forecast, we look at several major revenue sources. The ones I want to focus on here are the sales and use tax and the assessed valuation. In the 5-year forecast, sales and use tax projections are shown to be strong still for the 23 and 24 budget. However, in the out years, we show a decrease down to our normal level of growth, assuming there could be a possible recession and inflation affecting those in the future. And that's also what we've heard from other economists. For assessed valuation, we have the same growth. 23, 24, still high. However, in 25, we see a slowing of that and then back to normal growth in 26 through 28. For expenditure assumptions, our merit and market adjustment is a combined 5% for the 5-year forecast. With the tight labor market and the workforce pressures, we feel that this is necessary to recruit and retain employees in the county. Within the county budget, we also assume a vacancy factor of 3% for full-time positions that are not 24/7 and are not grant funded. This saves taxpayer money by assuming that we will not have full employment. The organization has continued to exceed expectations with wellness, and we're also anticipating another year of 0% growth in our health insurance costs. As we know, health insurance continues to increase, so we've assumed some growth in that in the future, again, to be conservative in our forecast. We're also anticipating $1 to $5 million of ongoing expenditures, and that's the available funding currently at a flat mill levy in the forecast. And then we've also programmed in use of reserves approximately $10 million for other one-time needs that we know will be coming.
And Robin, before you leave this page, on the vacancy factor, you might think, well, that doesn't align with what we said our vacancies are in the current year. But we're hoping that with measures we put in place, we'll get closer to normal times. But in the meantime, with the vacancy savings that we have right now, we're using that to do extra overtime while there's vacancies, or do some bonuses and things like that. So I just wanted to point out that doesn't quite match what we said on vacancies, but there's a reason for it.
So here's our 5-year forecast chart. As you can see, the top line shows the total budget, and then we've also broken out wastewater in green, and then all the other revenues in blue, and then the red is the use of reserves. So the increase that you can see from 24 to 26 is primarily due to the Nelson project, and then after 26, then we see that decrease in the future years back down to about 1.24 billion. So our 5-year forecast, this is a little busy, so I'm going to go slow, and if you have questions at the end, please feel free. So we start out, I'm just going to focus on 24 to start with. The beginning fund balance is $234 million. It's 49.6%. However, in the 2024 budget, we're looking at about 12.7 million of one-time needs, one-time use of reserves. So that brings our estimated ending fund balance to 46.9%. After that, we have 87 million of restricted funds that we remove, and that gets us to a revised estimated ending balance of 28.4%. So then I also wanted to show at the bottom, I know we've had some conversations about the SLFRF funding and CSF funding, the countywide support funds. So the amount available that I believe Brent and Becky have reported is 22.2 million, and that is what has not been dedicated or approved by the board for spending. However, that amount is in our general fund reserves, and that can be used at the discretion of the board. So if you were to decide to spend that, then that would reduce the estimated fund balance further to 23.7%. And so again, I would look at the final blue line, the revised estimated ending at 28. But as you look into the out years, we do drop down to 19%. And then if that 22 million is spent, then we would drop down to 15%. And also as a reminder, the county's general fund balance reserve policy is 20 to 25%. However, the rating agencies do like it when we are closer to 30% for our AAA.
And I would add that we're showing the CSF funds, but it's not assumed that it's spent in the budget. So we haven't programmed it. We've kept it in reserves at this point until such time that there's a policy need for one-time funds outside of what we've included in the budget, proposed budget.
So then other than the general fund, here's listed some of our major other funds in the county. And as you can see, that the funds remain within their reserve policy levels or slightly above. Public Works would be the outlier, but we're working with them to build that reserve up. And you'll see when we get to their presentation, we're using some general fund reserves to help out in that piece, just so that they can build that reserve up. If you remember, they have spent their own reserves on some large projects over the past few years, and so now we're shifting that the other way. Okay. For requests for additional resources, I'm going to turn over to Penny here.
Okay, so one of the things that we looked at in the budget as far as requests for additional resources, I know I've shared this with you before, but as a reminder, as we approach this budget, we had a lot of discussions before we said to departments, here's your direction when you turn in requests. And the request from the directors, and many of them are in the audience today, was to me as manager and then ultimately to you as a board, is to say the one thing that we really need countywide is a competitive workforce, because they know they're seeing the results of the number of applicants being down, or retention and recruitment efforts, and the impact it's having on their current staff and the impacts it may have on service if that continues. So there was a desire by the directors to say, let's focus on that. So the number of requests for additional resources were actually a little bit lower this year, in acknowledgement and part of the team effort to make this budget work. But where we did add a few things in the proposed budget, what we looked at as a lens for that is the board priorities and the community survey. So board priorities are on the screen. You all set them, you know what they are. But in the area of housing and infrastructure, the workforce, focusing on the workforce, and then safe and healthy community through a lens of sustainability and diversity. So there are a number of items that you'll see that references those. And then in the next slide, reminder of the kind of the top points in the community survey that we use to help inform where we could add some things, or if there was a desire or a need that came, we kind of checked these also. We checked both the board priorities and the community priorities. So you'll see the things that we've added are in alignment with these two areas. So community priorities, as a reminder, overall satisfaction rate for our community is 95% as a place to live. And you see some of the breakdown, and we're in the 90s of some of those key indicators. Also, the community survey said, here's our top 5 services, and you see them listed there: MedAct, Emergency Preparedness, Parks, Libraries, Election Office. So in the budget, you'll see a few things in those areas as well. And then the community most important services with highest opportunity for rate of return. That's where that importance and satisfaction came across. And so that reiterates some other of your priorities, and that's aging and mental health. So you'll see that in the few areas where we do have some requests for additional resources that we are recommending, they fall in those categories on those last 2 slides.
And when we looked at the request for additional resources, the priority really was to maintain existing services with some minor enhancements, and then also just fund the contractual increases and inflationary impacts to the county. So for public safety, there were 9 new FTE for MedAct, 4 FTE for the DA that moved from grant to county funding, and then also 10 FTE for the sheriff that moved from temporary to regular funding. The non-personnel expenditures for all of the strategic program areas primarily were for inflationary increases, such as utilities, fuel, maintenance contracts, the things I've mentioned before. And then in public safety, the one-time expenses were primarily for equipment, and then also the MedAct co-locations, there were 2, and that's included in the budget. For records and taxation, again, one-time expenses for presidential election and the presidential primary. Culture and recreation, library and parks both had a small amount of FTE that they requested. Health and human services, 17 new FTE, includes 15 for mental health. All of those are funded with fees, no county tax support for those. 1 for the senior health insurance counseling for Kansas, and 1 for the medical examiner. For support services, we had 1 new FTE to help out with cybersecurity. Again, that one's fee funded. For non-personnel, all inflationary related expenditures. And then infrastructure, wastewater had 1 FTE, and again, their contractual increases, their normal ones that they have each year. And then we had some one-time expenses for New CenturyLink building, and then also overlays and equipment with the use of CARS reserves. So again, kind of bare bones budget this year with our requests for additional resources. So moving on to capital improvement program sources, 70% of the total CIP is comprised of projects with dedicated funding sources. The largest is wastewater, which makes up about 49% of the total. Ongoing ad valorem is driven mainly by DTI and Public Works. And then the debt service projects is comprised of the Human Services Building, and then also there's a new Century Adult Detention Center remodel for video court for the sheriff. Projects with dedicated funding sources, you can see this is what the 70% is made up of. Parks and Recreation has $17 million for capital projects and about $6 million for their capital replacement program. CARS and Stormwater both reflect the current revenue projections. Library amount is for multiple projects within their budget. And then the airport has several projects, including 5.7 for the new Century Commerce Center Phase 2. Projects with other funding, you can see there's Lackman Road, 159th to 167th, a Flum Bridge replacement, a BOCC hearing room technology support, facilities capital replacement program, and that's our ongoing, HVAC, elevators, roof, all of those expenditures that we have that we need to budget for our buildings. And then also various transit projects as well.
And Robin, I just want to interject that I know we're going fast at a high level with the projects, but they'll be highlighted as we go through the departments in more depth. This was an attempt to give you an overview of what's included. So it's kind of fast, but just we'll see them again.
Yes. And then also projects with general fund balance funding. Again, this is primarily equipment, as you can see, and the difference would maybe be a major asset replacement program. Again, those are usually for roofs, high price items that we need to replace. And then other projects, again, as I mentioned, projects with Avalorem and debt funding, the new human service building, the New Century Adult Detention Center remodel for video court, and then below that, that's our basic IT infrastructure maintenance. So again, switches, routers, all of the things that we need to replace so that we can work with technology. And then the final one there is our normal bridge, road, and culvert program. And this chart really just illustrates the different funding sources for our CIP. As you can see, wastewater makes up about half of that.
So in summary, I know that was fairly quick, but again, we'll have time to, as we go through the next month and a half, and we go department by department or groupings of departments, to go in more depth of these. But I feel good about what we were able to accomplish with this budget. It's a strange time in the economy where property tax valuations are still high here in Johnson County. But we know that based on the economists, we don't know exactly when that downturn's coming, but it's coming. But at the same time, we have all these workforce pressures. We have a lot of inflation to deal with, supply chain issues. So I feel good that we were able to put together a budget that accomplishes a $250,000 rollback, that accomplishes keeping our compensation competitive with the market. We're able to do $6.3 million in ongoing needs, plus the 41 positions that you see here, Robin already touched on, but if you roll them up, they're the sheriff and DA at 14, mental health at 15, MedAct at 9, Department of Health and Environment and Aging, 2 positions, and DTI at 1. So stepping back and looking at the aggregate, what we're able to accomplish here, feel really good about. She highlighted the CIP of $384 million included. And really the most important thing is that we're structurally balanced for the 5-year, that this is a good mix that we can continue to, feel pretty confident about keeping our AAA bond rating, and that we're able to provide quality services to keep the high marks in the community survey. Just a few moments on upcoming challenges. A lot of the things that we've talked about in this budget are not a one-year issue. We're going to have continued challenges with growth and how we meet the services to handle that growth. We'll see continued pressure in the public safety areas, MedAct, et cetera. Long-term solutions for housing and homeless. That will take a lot of partnerships, but it is also a multi-year issue, and we've got some things included in the budget that start to help that. We've talked about ongoing workforce market pressures. One side of the equation is trying to stay competitive with the market. The other is the supply. And we know the future outlook in the coming years is it's not going to be solved and be an issue after this budget. It's going to continue to be something that we'll have to look at. Robin mentioned the potential recession. So with our reserve policy and our 5-year outlook, as well as our proven performance when we've had to cut back for a while in the short term to meet needs that happened in the pandemic, for example, or the Great Recession. This organization has shown that we're able to do that, and having healthy reserves helps us be able to do that without affecting services in most cases. And inflation. We'll have to continue to watch inflation and the driving demands there. So, in conclusion, the budget considers the feedback from the board direction at the board retreat and otherwise, as well as your priorities. The community survey in our community addresses, hopefully, our ability to retain and recruit employees, again, so we continue to provide quality services. We look at a balanced 5-year forecast and a $250,000 reduction, achieving all of the things that we talked about today. So I do want to pause and again thank the budget staff that's with us today and has helped us prepare the budget in the budget office, but also those financial folks out in the departments and the directors and all the teams of folks that have really put a lot of time and energy to get to this point. So real quickly, we'll go over the budget calendar.
So the upcoming meetings, we have department budget presentations over the next few Thursdays, and then we'll have our final budget deliberations on June 22nd and 23rd. We'll set the maximum expenditure authority. Again, that's not the mill levy, just the expenditure amount. We cannot reduce it after that point. We can't increase it, we can only reduce it. And then we'll have our public hearing and revenue neutral rate on August 21st, with the final budget adoption on August 31st. And the one thing that we don't have on here that I wanted to bring up, we think we just finalized the dates. We will have 2 budget open houses. The first will be June 22nd, and it'll be in the admin building at 5:30. And then the second is June 27th at the Northeast offices, also at 5:30. And I believe that we've checked your calendars and put those on there.
And I will add, for those open houses are intended to be informational for community members to come and ask questions. Obviously, the public comment period would be during the public hearing portion a little bit later, but a chance to give more information if residents are curious about what's in it and want to ask us questions.
Right. And then for next week, we have the detailed schedule on the PowerPoint. Health and Human Services is up first, and then we'll also be discussing the Low-Income Senior and Disabled Veteran Tax Relief Program initiative, and then we'll have 4 of the outside agencies. ECJC was not able to be at the first one, so they'll be at the second. But again, we'll have all of those departments here for those presentations. After we have questions, we do have information for you for those, and then we'll have PowerPoints out next Tuesday for you as well.
So Chairman, that concludes our presentation. We're open for comments or questions.
Well, first of all, I want to thank staff for a lot of diligent work that went into this. It is not a small organization, and we continue to be reminded of that based on the proposed budget and the amount of work that not only the budget takes, let alone the amount of work that goes into building a county and running a county. So thank you all very much for all the work that has gone into this. I want to start by reminding folks about the budget calendar and the opportunity that we'll have to drill down into specific topics in the coming month. And maybe take at least today's discussion to start at a high level, this being an overview session, asking general big picture questions related to the budget, as well as questions as to what was or may not have been included, knowing that we'll have an opportunity to get into the granular as we continue to move forward over the next several months. In terms of the AAA bond rating is where I'd like to start. Obviously, that's incredibly important. And I think I heard, Robin, correctly, that you said that the bond rating agencies like to see an end fund balance around 30%. Doesn't look like, even with the $250,000 reduction, that we are quite at that 30%. So I was hoping you might discuss that briefly, and then as well, by our ability to keep that AAA bond rating, what is the savings, or if you have any kind of approximation of the savings that the county receives when it operates?
Yes, on the AAA bond rating for the reserve, what they look at actually is that they'll look at that top number, which we have. And so that will be like the 40%. However, we know that part of those reserves are restricted. So if there was an emergency, if the board needed to use those funds, if we had a downturn in the economy, we have more limited use of all of those. And so there's that difference. We look at that bottom piece. The rating agencies know that there are restrictions, but that's a continued conversation that we have with them. And we also know that in the out years, we show our reserves going down. And again, we have those conversations with them that we are conservative budgeting, and they appreciate that. They're very appreciative, and usually when they come back and have conversations, they're happy to have a conversation with us and be working with us instead of other entities who are usually scrambling and having a harder time because they have not done that due diligence with their reserves. Now, as far as savings, I can get back to you on that. I know Leslie has most of that information, and so But I think we've given that to you in the past, and so we'll give you that information. But it is truly a great amount. I actually, on the top of my head, is it like 10 million, Leslie?
It's much more than that.
We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. Yes, it is significant, especially with wastewater projects on the GO side. So those are significant savings.
I would add to the 5-year forecast that in the, 4th and 5th year out, yes, it goes a little bit below the ideal percentage, but we will manage to it. So each year we take a closer look. We don't fall below that percentage until it's further years out, and we have time to manage to it.
Thank you. I want to make one more quick comment, then obviously open to questions and comments from my fellow commissioners here. I want to thank you for including an investment in our workforce within your proposed budget. It's something I definitely support, and I hope my fellow commissioners will support it as well. 4,265 FTEs in what has been a declining applicant pool and a tough workforce, meeting the mark, at least at the midpoint, is incredibly important, making sure they have that valuable working environment, and that includes compensation. I'm glad that we included the MedAct step plan. That's important to me, as well as the salary and benefit study, as well as public safety officers, the increase to the sheriff's as well as the district attorney's office. I think that's important, and I want to thank you for including those and let the department heads know that we appreciate your partnership with this budget and investing in our people. So thank you very much. Start with Commissioner O'Hara. How about that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This, Robbins, this budget is a flat mill levy, no mill levy rollback for the library and the parks, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Or quarter mill levy for
The-
county
For
taxing.
the
but
county.
Yes,
but
flat for the other two.
library and parks, no mill levy rollback.
Correct.
And then I was wanting to know what would be revenue neutral, what would be required of all three, the Parks and Rec and the library and the county general fund portion. What would be the rollback on the mill levy if we went to revenue neutral?
So the amount, what we'll look at right now is just the dollar amount, because again, we don't have that final assessed valuation to get that rate.
But
the
approximately.
dollar amount for the county taxing district is about 27 million. However, if you include new growth, then it's 23 million. For park and recreation, it's 4.6 million, and then 4 million if you include new growth. And then for library, it's 4.3 million and 3.8 million with new growth.
Okay, and then 27 million is approximately 2 mills.
Correct. 1 mill is, about 13, 14 million.
Okay, so it's approximately 2 mills. Okay, and so and then we have $43 million of carryover that we now have, that we have rolled over into the reserves.
That's our use of reserves, not what we've rolled over. So for 2024, amongst county general fund, and that's all funds, that includes wastewater, multiple funds, we're using 43 million of reserves for one-time expenses in the budget.
Well, we took $488 million as a reserve for, and then added $43 million of carryover, correct? For the $531 million in total reserves. Is that correct?
The 531 million is our
Includes-
ending reserve
Yes.
balance, and so we would have had the beginning, I'll go back
It
here.
was 488. That was what was in the 2023 budget, I believe.
That's the general fund. Hold on one sec, let me pull that. No, usually, the 43 million is what we're using, and so that's, the ending is 530, and so we would have 531 plus the 43. I'd have to get the
Oh,
total
it's
for you.
531 plus the 43?
Correct, for your beginning. That's the beginning fund balance for
Okay.
24, and then we're using 43 million. But I can get you those exact numbers.
Okay, Mr. Chair, if I can ask one more question.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The mental health building that we're forecasting to build at $83 million, is that one building? Or is that also, there was another building on Spruce Street?
No, I believe that's one building.
That's just the one building. Okay, and then also there's an additional cost for that of $23 million for the contract buyout on Evergreen. So the actual cost of, in my opinion, not maintaining that building on Sunset is going to be over $100 million, and that is extremely troubling. But those are my questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Hanslick, how about you?
Thank you. I had a question about, on slide 18, about the revenue. I wondered if you could talk a little bit more about the bottom column, which is the actual amount of ad valorem tax revenue that is part of this budget. Because I think a lot of times people hear, oh my gosh, a $1.8 million or billion-dollar budget, and they assume that's all from their taxes. So I wondered if you could just
Yes.
speak a little bit about that.
Yes, in 2023, we had a .96 mill levy rollback, and so the ad valorem that we received from that was $315 million. For 2024, it's $346 million. So again, that funds our total budget, including county and parks and library, I believe. That's all of the ad valorem tax. And again, yes, when you look at that $543 million, the county services, that doesn't even include parks and library. So there are many other revenue sources, such as grants, fees, charges for services that help fund that as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you clarifying that.
Commissioner Allenbrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I've got a couple of questions, I think because I'm slow. So on the budget calendar, some of those meetings are going to be in the evenings so that people that work can attend those. Is that correct?
That would be just the June 22nd open house and the June 27th. So all of these other meetings will be from 1 to 5, the department budget meetings.
Okay, those are evenings, okay.
But yes, the open houses are at night, so the public can come in and ask questions about the budget.
The
In the public hearing, yes.
22nd was on here, but the 27th wasn't.
Oh, the 22nd is a department budget meeting during the day, or we have budget deliberations, but then that night we'll have the open house.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You want us for the day, okay.
I want you all day and night.
Yeah, and I appreciate on page 37, when we're talking about the homeless and the partnerships, I think that's critical to speak that we need to have partners involved in that. And the other thing I missed when you were talking about, and I don't remember what slide it was on, the capital improvement plan, what were those buildings again?
The human service building
Okay.
or the debt service buildings. We had a human service building was the debt service piece. And then also New Century Adult Detention Center, we are remodeling that to include video court. So those are
Okay.
the two debt items as far as buildings go.
Okay.
Were those the main ones you were talking about?
Yeah, I didn't know it was in the, and I'm sure you're gonna, in the other meetings, you're gonna have it broken out,
Yes,
right?
we'll have all
Okay.
the CIP by department, and we'll
Okay.
have that detail. You'll
And-
get it in the department pages, and then also in the presentation.
And I think it's helpful for people that are coming here, so if there's no abbreviation, so they know exactly
Yes.
where that's going. And then, so I'm not gonna ask that question, I'm sorry. So in the compensation on the strategy, again, I also, that's on page 11. I do appreciate looking at the workforce. So is the sheriff's revised step plan, is that something new, or that was what we had already voted on?
That's what we already voted on. For this year, it was funded with countywide support funds one time. And so this is just showing that now we are shifting to ongoing ad valorem tax support. And so just recognizing that that's there, but now it'll be ongoing and part of tax support.
Okay, and I think I have one more, and then I'm done. So on page number 7, so when you look at the population growth, this is probably a silly question, so how do you know that it's dropped that much never mind, I just caught my own self. Well, I first of all, I want to thank you for all the work that you have done, the staff, I know it takes a lot. I always hate doing my own budgets because it gives me migraines, but I really appreciate all your work going into this, and I as well appreciate and support the workforce, and it's important for us to keep our staff employed here and happy, so.
Thank you.
So I also want to add that the administrative staff and the offices have been a huge help. So, thank you.
Commissioner Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll build on what Commissioner Allen Brand just offered. As a minor budgeteer in a prior life, I very much appreciate the intricate detail and the mind-numbing need to try to keep all of this straight, and you and your staff have done an excellent job, and I'm glad you've got at least one assistant there that's been helping you. And
Well, I owe a lot to our staff. We have an amazing professional budget staff.
I know you do, and I know the department heads just love going through the process with you almost as much as they love presenting to the commission. So I thank them for that. This is quite a lot of information to unload, and I know that we don't want to stay here for an extended period of time, but there are a couple of points that I would like to ask, and I'm glad to visit with you offline as necessary. But the first question, I'll direct it to the county manager, because she made the statement somewhere along the lines of to keep keep high marks in our community survey. You said something along those lines, and I understand what you're saying. But I was wondering if you also have had a chance to plot the level of satisfaction regarding citizen survey responses to the value you receive for your tax dollars over time, because this year it was at 53, and I think I've mentioned this before, in the late teens, before COVID, it was in the upper 60s, and it has fluctuated fairly significantly, and I'm just wondering if we are considering that as we go forward with this budget proposal. So I just offer that, and we can discuss it offline or as departmental presentations come forward.
I can make a quick comment, and then as presentations come forward, yes, we look at that. It's very important to us. As far as plotting it over time, we do look at not only that, but the aggregate results, and drill down into it to generally look at trends over time, but also how we compare to the country, how do we compare to the region. So we factor a lot of those things in. That value of tax dollar is very important, obviously, for you all to know about and for us as well. So we can highlight some things as we go through the budget process a little bit more in detail.
And when you say aggregate, are you talking about the composite scores that?
I know you talk about the composite score I wasn't really meaning the composite score as much as I meant just the overall results and key areas.
Very good. Second, I'd like to learn more on slide 25. You talk about the community survey top 5 priority services, and looking at the community survey results. The survey results talk about priorities that the respondents offered for the next 5 years, and then they also asked about the next 20 years. And in their list, they include public safety, low crime, public education, healthcare access, well-maintained roads, and parks and trails. They're the same in both lists. They're mixed up a little bit, but that's what they indicated were their priorities in the future. And then also, they when asked about service delivery importance, their number 1 item is Johnson County is well run, appraisals are fair, sorry, Bo, emergency preparedness, resources are effectively managed, and criminal prosecutions are fair. So do you believe that this proposal addresses those areas sufficiently?
Yes, I think so. We also look at what we hear from the departments on what their emerging trends are, growing challenges, and look at their top priorities. And I feel like we've been able to achieve that right balance.
Okay. And then my last question, and Ms. Postoke Ferguson, you've heard me ask this once or twice in the past, is I look forward to seeing how your budget proposals and your alignment of resources tie to your performance metrics and the outcomes that you are proposing for our primary customers.
Absolutely, and that's important to me and our staff as well. So we'll highlight that through the process.
Okay, thank you.
A follow-up to one of the questions that Commissioner Ashcraft offered, again on page 25. I think he mentioned some community survey top 5 priorities, one of which was public education.
Yeah.
When you're looking at that, obviously, public education is not something we do here in the county. So how do you just a 10,000-foot view, use the survey as a tool, but not necessarily a dogmatic roadmap when you're just determining priorities within a budget? Can you just maybe talk about that for a sec?
We do have pieces in public education through our libraries, parks, and other things, and Commissioner Myers is saying yes, because he works closely with Parks Department and knows a lot of their public education programs, museums, et cetera, our museum,
Childcare.
et cetera. But I will say that it helps inform us, and the ones we focus on the most are the ones I highlighted, but they're not the only ones. When we get the survey, we spend a lot of time as an executive leadership team really digesting it, county manager's office. Then the directors go and kind of work through it with their departments. So you'll see that some of the community survey results are filtered in through our performance measures to make us, think about it all the time, not just annually. So it's used throughout.
Your follow-up, Commissioner Ashcraft?
I would, Mr. Chairman, and actually, I would submit that that's a cogent question. One of the challenges that has been debated by this body for many years is when we do a survey like this, are the respondents able to discern what is county government versus what is not county government? For example, Johnson County Community College. Well, you and I, everyone in this dais may understand the difference, but will the respondent? And one of the challenges for staff that is often asked is, what steps do we take to go to the next level, either follow-up surveys or focus groups to kind of weed that out? Because a plain reading of public education, you'd think public schools potentially. But as the county manager more or less alluded to, our educational efforts in terms of trying to inform people of the services we provide, how to receive support for if it's IDD services, mental health services, child care, aging services, as well as formal education, it gets a little murky. And the county manager, I would submit, is correct. We do partner with public education in a lot of venues, parks, for example, preschool and so forth. So trying to kind of go through that and make sense of what our role is, it's been a challenge. So it's a good observation. It's not the only one, because I read healthcare access. Well, I mean, how many people read that as hospitals and doctors? And
I do say it's not a perfect.
It's interesting.
Not a perfect tool. It's a tool. It's one tool, and we have others. And so Commissioner Ashcraft is correct. If there's areas that are of concern, we try to drill down where we can. For example, we have in the public information area and wastewater, we do more drilling down, for example, in other ways of surveys and things like that. But it's a tool, so we try to use it where we can. And it's not clear sometimes when it's cities or not, but it's a tool that helps us.
Well, it's not just cities.
Right.
Absolutely. It's school
Okay,
districts.
sorry.
No, and I want to riff on this for just a second. I want to get down in a rabbit hole, but I think it's important because you raise a good, important topic when we're talking about prioritization within the budget. Sometimes that's incumbent upon us to take a multifaceted approach when we do outreach to our community. I think Jody and her team do a fantastic job of that. And if we can continue to provide resources and innovation in the way that we communicate with folks, we can continue to do a little bit better and advertising what's the county as opposed to what's the school district, as opposed to what's the municipality and so forth. Getting more people into Johnson County Academy that I know we all had an opportunity to be at on Tuesday night. And thank you again to Susan for her work there on Johnson County Academy. That's another great tool, but maybe the most important tool is the 7 of us. and us being straightforward and honest with the people in our community about what our roles are and how we go about partnering with others in our community. And so, but at the end of the day, we're going to be on the hot seat for something that the school district may do, or the community college, or one of our various 20 cities within Johnson County, which is why I think it's incumbent upon us to work together at multiple layers of government so that we can create a rising tide, so that we're all going to be getting the benefits of the praise of good things going on in our region, lest we all get blamed for the shortcomings of one. So thank you for my diatribe there. Commissioner Allenbrand, I think you were
Mr.
next.
Chair. Well, some of that is exactly what I was going to say, is because there's so much education and so much going on out there, and why I think it's so important with the partnerships, just like what we did with Johnson County Community College, Johnson County Workforce, and others. I think that's key. And I don't think that you just pull out of your hat the questions that go on that survey. I'm assuming that you get some of those from ETC and from other, so it's not just something, because I know we've sat around for hours getting input from all the commissioners, and some of it's wordsmith, and so not to say anything about all of us, doing those surveys, but I think that's why it's important to use a professional group of,
And I would
not
add
that
to-
we're not professional.
Somebody that
Boy, I'm in a
specializes
rabbit
in
hole now.
surveys. But I do want to add to what you just said, Commissioner, because it is ultimately a tool for you all as a Board of County Commissioners. So we look at it at a staff level as well, but also the board helps set those questions or adjust them if you want us to. And so it's how you want to use it as well. And we always strive to improve. No matter how we're good at a service, we always strive to improve, to be better. And looking at performance measures, looking at surveys, those are all tools to help us understand where we're at and how we can do better.
Commissioner Fast.
Yes, on the ETC, I think sometimes we forget, and when I was on city council, we went with them, I spent hours with ETC. It's about trend lines and how you compare to other counties and cities. I think sometimes we're like, oh, where we are this year. No, it's how you are over 5 years and how you compare to the cities in your county, and that's really more the value, and so you don't want to change a lot of questions because you want those trend lines. But there's two things, the bond market is really changing, and is all our bond rates set, or does our interest rates change? So they're all set for years. It's not like we can refinance lower, but we're not impacted if they go higher. Is that correct?
Correct, on the current debt that we already have issued. Now, we have a bond sale coming up in August, so that could be effective. We'll have rating agency calls again and go through this whole process of talking about the economy, how Johnson County is doing. We'll probably bring up the World Cup. We'll say, we're growing, we're expanding. We'll talk about how wonderful Johnson County is. But yes, they'll look at our financials, they'll look at our 5-year forecast, and they'll analyze that as they go through, and decisions the board makes, even as they look at the financial stability of Johnson County. We'll get rated, and then at that point, yes, then we'll go out for issuance, and then we'll get a rate at that time.
For
But once
new
that rate's
bonds,
set,
not-
for new bonds.
Okay,
Once
not-
that rate's set, it's just like your mortgage in a sense. Once it's set, then you're good. And it does not change.
And so many years, then you can refinance some of them or not?
Correct. After so many years, yes. Leslie would be, again, the expert on that. But yes, after so many years, you would have the opportunity to refinance.
I have one more question, Shirley. Sorry. On sales tax, I get this a lot. Why don't we have a sales tax for mental health or housing? Douglas County had one for housing. But we are maxed on our sales tax, correct? So we don't have any counties are different than cities. So we have no sales tax authority left until the county courthouse comes on. Can you explain that? And we can only leverage for certain things, correct?
Correct. We have a maximum sales tax rate. However, I believe there is one sales tax out there that we have not authorized or gone to voters for, and that's a public health sales tax. So that would be the only one that we have not went out for. But as far as, yes, local public safety, we are maxed out. And then Public Safety 3, once that sunsets, then that would go away.
So when they sunset, we could only issue a public safety one again. I mean, like for Lawrence or Douglas County did a housing, where was the city maybe did the housing? Where was the housing sales tax under?
That I'm not sure. I would refer to Peg on, to
Well,
or Cindy.
I guess,
who's
you know,
not
I
here.
mean,
We could get that information.
Maybe because
I
under
am
the
not-
city, they have more flexibility than under
I
the
would
county.
have to check with Cindy if once our Public Safety 3 sunsets, then what, I believe that goes away, but I would need to talk to her about if that could be renewed, if it could be renewed for something else. At the time, I believe there were stipulations on that, in the uses of that as far as public safety, but we can get that information and get back to you.
I'm sorry, please go
Sorry,
ahead,
can
Robert.
I, just since we're talking about debt, I got the information, and over the last 10 years, if we were to go from a AAA to a AA, it would have cost an additional $24 million.
Well, and I appreciate that. Thank you for getting that information, and thanks to your team for getting that information, which is why I think it's so important. You know, we're at a unique time in history right now within Johnson County and really America, with an opportunity to leverage federal partnership, whether it be on the bipartisan infrastructure law or whether it be on the Inflation Reduction Act, to shape the county that we want to see for decades to come. And so when we're thinking about that, making sure that we have a AAA bond rating, which we've had for 16 years in a row, I think, which is fantastic. That triple also with our Parks and Rec department is something I think we should continue to prioritize.
You may know this, but out of 3,000 plus counties in the country, we're in the less than top 2%.
Yep. Commissioner Allenbrand?
Mr. Chair, and I'm sorry, I'll be done after this, but since the 2024 World Cup was brought up, you know, all the hotels are booked all the way into Topeka and surrounding area. And I would encourage all of us, the economic development that it's going to bring as money and taxes into our community is over the top. And I would encourage anybody and all of us up here to get involved within our own cities and chambers to see how we can also use that into small businesses to make sure that people are pulled in to those communities as well.
Commissioner Ashcraft, you had a follow-up?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Slide 21, if you would. I'm a little confused on the estimated remaining CSF. So is that saying that we have $111 million?
No, we actually debated on this, even Julie
asked
did.
a similar question.
Yes.
I mean, that's how it reads.
I understand, and
Because the
so.
calculation includes that each year.
Yes, so if you look though, really the top boxes are your reserves. And so at the end of each year for 24, we ended 134. And then in 25, we ended 134, 124, 114, all the way across. What we're saying is that, no, if you spent the,
What you're saying is we got it one time.
you have it one time, but it just, if you,
We can
whichever
spread
year
it
you
as we
spent
want.
it in, then that's
That-
what it would be. And I understand, and we talked about even taking that off, but we wanted to at least illustrate that, yes, it's there, but if you didn't spend it till 2026, then
No, I
this is
understand.
the impact of it.
You
I-
might
yes.
consider footnotes
Yes.
because this is a public document and someone
understand.
cold picking up will go, I mean, 22 is a lot of money, 111.
I understand.
is-
Thank you for that. Thank you for that note.
Commissioner Myers?
Thank you, Chair. I don't want to be the only one left out not speaking, so, you know, one of the things I don't think there's any question, we all feel that budget is the most important thing that we do. We all know that, but I think it continues to need to be said all the time. What I've done today and what I usually like to do is I like to write down key words or key phrases that I hear in the presentations. And some of those words that I wrote down today was compensation, which I think is very important. It's a key factor in this budget is compensation of our workforce. I wrote down structural balance. That's something I speak to every year when we talk about our budget, making sure that we have that structural balance, and that's what keeps us being in a good position and being the type of county we are. I wrote down the word inflation. We don't know where it's going to actually go or what's going to happen, but I think we all know that we've seen great effects already from inflation. It doesn't just hit the homeowner, it hits the county also. I wrote down AAA bond rating, crucial in my mind. And I was not going to talk about how many millions of dollars that we saved by being AAA, but it is millions and millions of dollars. And then I wrote down the word affluent. And we are an affluent county. And when you are an affluent county, you have higher expectations for services. And I think all of those things are included in this budget. So I look at this budget, I've been studying it, I continue to study it. It's going to be something we're going to do throughout the next few months. One of the things that I looked at that I think is important is that a person living in a $400,000 home, which is I think we're stating that as the average home in Johnson County, pays about $92 a month for all of the services that are provided through the county. A $250,000 home, a resident is paying about $58 a month. To me, again, looking at all the services and all the things that we encompass as a county, I mean, if you look out here in the audience and you just see some of these people, and that's just a fraction of the leadership throughout this county and what we do and what we provide, I sit there and say, wow, we're getting the bang for our buck, is my belief. But again, I want to continue looking at this budget. I'm looking forward. I think staff has done a wonderful job in presenting what you've presented so far. And it's mind-boggling, the work that you do, but it is also excellent work. I tell you, if I can understand it, anybody can understand it. So thank you for all the work, for everybody involved that puts this together, and I look forward to continuing to hear and the breakdown of the budget by departments and coming up with the best decision possible.
Commissioner Myers, you do yourself no justice in your understanding of fiscal documents. Commissioner O'Hara, did you have another comment?
Yes, I do. Just a comment on the sales tax. The portion of the county that is at the limit on sales tax are the taxpayers. I mean, we have more than, in some areas, it's more than 10% is the sales tax. And that's crushing. And then you add on top of it the property taxes. I mean, we have to start being really concerned about the tax burden on the general population of the county. So I would really caution my colleagues considering adding a sales tax on top of what we have, because I just don't see how people can afford it. So, but anyway, thank you.
Commissioner Hanslick.
Yes, thank you. Just following up on the sales tax conversation, the counties, I think the county's base sales tax is 0.45 perhaps, and then the additional sales, the public safety sales tax and special taxes. But I was just having this conversation with a resident recently and reminded her that all of those, like the public safety sales tax, they all have to go to the voters to be voted on. That's not something we, as a board, can unilaterally implement. So I think that's important too, that these were sales taxes that were approved by the voters of Johnson County because they wanted to see investment in public safety, and we're willing to do that. In regard to Commissioner Fast's question about the housing, sales tax, it looks like that's through the city of Lawrence, and it's a 0.05 cents for affordable housing. So it's through the city, not the,
Commissioner, oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Hanslick. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Commissioner Fast.
Yeah, Commissioner O'Hara, I wasn't advocating for it. I was just asking because people bring that up to
Okay.
me. So I don't want you to just,
Oh, okay, all
yeah, I
right.
wasn't, I was just saying that I get that. People say that to me when I say, you know, we don't have the money to support all
Right.
these different projects. And they're like, why don't you have a sales tax? And
Right, and with all the conversations of trying to reduce the sales tax on food and this, that, and the other, I just think that we have to be very cautious about that, and I appreciate your clarification. Thank you.
I want to get back real quick to Commissioner Meyer's conversation about the monthly impact and the value of the services, because I think that's something that our staff do incredibly well. And when you look at the chart, the one that speaks to me most about is that chart with regards to growth and the number of FTEs. And we have not kept pace with the number of FTEs to growth, and I think a lot of that is based on our pillar of innovation. Something that we, through LEAP and others, have prioritized is being able to, forgive the term, have the best bang for our buck in terms of the services that we provide. And we've tried to get as close to the bone as possible. At some point, there's not a lot more meat on the bone. So, and I appreciate that we are all cognizant of the impact that taxes are having on our community. One of the things that I look forward to continuing to talk about as this budget process moves forward was Commissioner Hanslick's item regarding targeted relief to those most vulnerable in our community. So I look forward to talking about that as this budget process continues. And one of the things I want to challenge my colleagues with is we can throw out large numbers about mill levy reductions and 2 mills, 3 mills, 4 mills, and just arbitrary numbers. I challenge us to come to the table then with corresponding reductions. What services will we reduce? Where will we find that money to be able to have a certain level of reduction in the mill? And then we can have an honest policy level conversation about that. But until we're able to equate that to service reduction, it's not a fair conversation. So that's one of the things I would challenge us to do as we continue moving forward regarding this budget. Commissioner Allenbrand.
Mr. Chair, I think that's a good comment, because when we talk about reducing anymore, we need to know what the plan is. What is the plan? What are we going to cut? What are we going to eliminate? So that is just fair. If we want to see further cuts, we need to bring a plan in place.
With that, I want to thank Ms. Postock Ferguson, Ms. Symes, all of the departments that have joined us today. And we'll go ahead and close this committee at 3:15 and look forward to continued robust discussion over the months ahead. We are now adjourned.
How did we do that?
Thank you.
It has been a